Hey everybody, it's Steve. Welcome back. As you can see, I'm in a rather precarious position here. The top hinge of my cabinet is ripped free, and we're going to have to fix that. So right now it's being held on just by the bottom hinge, so I want to be careful that it doesn't rip that one out as well. So we're going to quickly remove that and repair the upper holes. Luckily, it's something that even I can do. Alright, so let's get started. Now the very first thing you want to do is you want to detach this very heavy door from the hinge system here, because otherwise the bottom hinge is likely to rip itself out of the wall as well. So to do that, you will see some screws there. You could, I guess, unscrew all of the screws if you don't have a quick release latch. We have a quick release latch, so we will just go back here and move this lever forward, and that releases it, and then I can pull it away. Now you might notice but I've also stacked some stuff here so that it props the door. That's kind of for the filming here. I didn't want the door to be running loose. But if you can do it real quickly, that will help with the weight of the door as you take it off. So when this was ripped off the wall, it took with it the piece that should be mounted to the cabinet, and it left it attached to the arm of the door. So we want to remove that, because when we work on this, we're going to use just this piece so that it's mounted in there properly, and then we'll reattach using the quick latches. So we're just going to, again, like we did with the other piece, we're going to remove it by pushing in here, and that will free it. If for some reason there's screws here, then you'll have to unscrew the screws, but the one I have just has that latch, makes it really easy to do. Alright, before I do anything else, I want to mark where this piece goes in the wall, because what we're going to do is we're going to fill in these holes, and I want to make sure I know where the holes are. So first, figure out which way this piece goes, and you can do that by looking at the other one that's still installed. They go the same. And then you're going to line up this with the screw that you have. And if you have the loose screws, you can put it in there so you know where it was before. Because we want everything to go back the way it was. So then we'll mark it with this pencil so that after I fill in these holes, I can put this piece back right where I want it, right where it was before, and then put the screws back in so that everything's still lined up. If it's not lined up, when we go to put the door back on, it's going to be a problem. Marking your holes or determining where the holes need to go in some other fashion is extremely important. The doors already have their hinges attached to them, so when you remount it, it's going to be looking for that base to be in the exact place it was before. So get good measurements, get good markings, whatever you have to do, but let's make sure that we get that reinstalled in the right place. So what we're going to do is essentially rebuild the wood that the screws screw into. And well, I'm going to use this quick wood from JB Weld. It's supposed to be the world's strongest. It got pretty good reviews on Amazon, so that's what I'm going to try. I've seen folks do it other ways as well. They'll stick broken toothpicks in these holes and then a sawdust mix. But I'm going to try this. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how strong it is. We'll see if it holds it in. And we'll looking forward to hearing what your folks' results are as well. All right, you should wear gloves when you're doing this. So you're going to spill this open and remove a portion of the mix that you think you'll need, and you can get a little extra so that we have more to work with than less. We don't want to have too little. And then you're going to knead this until it's all one color and it has a good consistency. You have about 15 minutes to work with this stuff before it becomes too dry to really work properly with it. And then you'll need 60 minutes for it to cure completely before you do anything else with it. Alright, so that looks pretty good. And then we're going to take this up and we're going to stick it in our hole and push it in as hard as we can and as deep as we can. Alright, let's do that. Now as you're doing this, try to be careful not to eliminate your marks so that you still know where the hinge needs to go when you're done. Try to get that in there as deep as you can. It's okay to have extra. We're going to scrape that down in a second. Right, so it's in there nice and deep. We'll take our putty knife and then we're just going to smooth it down a little bit. Again, if you can avoid eliminating your marks, all the better. Use a pen if that helps more. And again, I want it in there as deep as I can get it. and then we'll wipe off the excess with our putty knife. Okay, so we have our hole filled. We're gonna let that cure for at least 60 minutes. I'm gonna let it go probably a number of hours and make sure that it is fully dry and fully set before I try to put that heavy door back on. So we'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll move on to the next step. All right, so now that it is dried for some time, I've let it go, let's see, about 5 hours actually. It should be ready to sand, so I'm just gonna sand this down. This is 150 grit sandpaper, which should be fine. You can go even finer if you want, just to make sure you don't damage your cabinets. I figured these cabinets are on the inside of the door, so I'm not really too worried about it. Once you've sanded down your wood putty to your liking, then go ahead and take your piece and you're going to position it up there and line it up with your pencil marks so that we know that it's in the same place. And then just where the screw holes go, we're going to put a dot in each one of those. Right in the center so that we can drill some pilot holes. Alright, so next we'll drill some pilot holes right where we marked. Okay, once you have drilled your pilot holes, you're ready to put your piece back on. Make sure you put the screw into the pilot holes. Okay, so there's one. This bottom one here. Okay, so we have all 3 screws in. It seems fairly secure. So I'm hopeful this is going to work. We're going to now add our door back on and see what happens. Alright, so you can see I'm balancing the door on our stack of stuff here. I'm going to attach the first hinge to our mount. We'll start at the top. It's going to go in there, and then just like we took it off, we're going to lift that latch, pull it back, and snap it into place. Now the bottom one should be a little easier. Snug that in there, push it tight, pull the latch back, make sure it snaps into place. Alright, there we go. And it should snap into place. You'll know that it's connected and it's not going to swing away. Alright, there we go. Take my sophisticated prop system out of the way. Yep. Alright, we are back in business. Okay, welcome back. Well, it's been about a week and our hinge is still in good shape here. Not detecting any sort of movement. It's in there, not loose at all. And we've been in and out of this cupboard quite a bit. So I think this has worked for us. Now our hole wasn't that big and it was jagged enough where I think when you impact it with that putty, it sticks in there pretty well. We gave it a long time to cure, so that also helped. Now it's not going to be the solution for everybody. Sometimes the holes are too big. And this putty maybe won't be able to stick in there well enough to hold the heavy door. Alternatively, sometimes the hole isn't really big enough to even warrant the putty, and maybe just a slightly larger screw or slightly longer screw is all you need. This is just one way of doing it. It worked for us. Good luck to you and yours. Hopefully this does work for you. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, please subscribe. But until next time, this has been Steve for things that even I can do.